Hey guys, Saka here with another Kerbal Space Program video. It's time to get Jebediah and Bill up to the command module to meet up with Bob and get these guys home. First up the ladder is Jebediah. He'll go ahead, turn on the capsule and get everything ready for takeoff, while Bill admires the flag that we placed, forever staying on the lunar surface as a reminder of this mission. So Bill will hop over to the ladder, climb on in, and then luckily the retracting ladder does not take an electric charge. We really don't have much electricity to spare in this capsule. But there we go, the ladder is retracted and we are clear for takeoff. Number 1 for the runway, as Apollo 11 was told. And all we have to do is select our command module as our target and speed up time until it's practically overhead. Luckily it's going to pass right over us. Both Kerbals are aboard. There's some ship data for you. It'll pass directly overhead, so we can fire directly at the 270 degree. We'll be firing west, and we'll be matching orbits with it. If we were to fire east, we would be going in the complete opposite direction, and tragedy may befall us if we collided with them above the moon. Although that might be something we could do in the future with some unmanned pods, just see what an impact looks like. But there we go, clear for takeoff, firing on that 270 mark, and you can see our target speed decreasing because we're firing in the same direction, so we're catching up to it. Going out to the orbit view now. And we're waiting for those ascending and descending nodes to tell us if we're on plane. And we're waiting for that blue orbit marker to tell us that we've got off the ground and we're climbing. I'm firing kind of low on the horizon, so I'll pick my nose up a bit and gain some altitude. And we're a half a degree off, so just like last time with the docking, you just move left and right just a little bit of your desired direction to change that ascending and descending node. Firing over the crater now, 20,000 meters, and our capsule is at 50, so that's the magic number that we need to get to on this fuel tank. Otherwise, the command capsule will have to do a rescue maneuver while we free fall towards the lunar surface, which I do not want to do. So as we can see from that indicator there, I will reach my apoapse, but the command capsule will already be past us. But most importantly, circularize our orbit as best we can, lower than the capsule so we can catch up to it. There's a 41 by 45. And as I've changed my firing time, I see that I get a 2.2 kilometer approach. What I did not see, however, is I do not have a pair-app, so I'm doing all this fine-tuning, I'm getting my orbit down, and I'm thinking I'm going to have a good time. Little did I know at this point I'm going to have to make another course correction, but raise the landing legs, point the capsule to our maneuver node indicator, and time accelerate up to it. There's Kerbin high above, and also our command capsule, orbiting the moon as well. A 250 meter a second burn will take a little time for this poodle engine to do. A 29-second burn according to our maneuver node. And Bill looks concerned. It's like he knows that I made a mistake. And Jebediah, he's like, I don't care. Here we go, burning now. And slowly and surely accelerating up to our speed and decreasing our relative target speed as well, which is good because that means we can orbit at about the same speed as it and make a nice soft docking. Throttling down now to not miss my maneuver node. There's 30 meters a second now, not much longer, and there we go. So now I think I'm in like a dirty shirt. I can just coast around and, well, until I delete my maneuver node. Then I realize, oh, I done goofed. Something happened. So I didn't want to set up another maneuver node, so I decided to freehand it a bit fire more in the upwards direction. That didn't work. So then I decide to see how far I am, 54 kilometers away. That's not good for docking business. And I see that my orbit is very eccentric. And I don't think at this point I realize I don't have a periapse yet. But I turn down and try to find retrograde and see that's pointing straight at the ground. And realize I'm still on target mode. So go to the orbit, find out where I need to burn to slow myself down, and I see those maneuver nodes come together. And now a 2.1 kilometer separation. And I think I'm good at this point. But then I realize I don't have a periapse and I need to keep on burning. So what I want to do is stabilize my orbit at about 50,000 meters. That way we're not shooting too far wide, because that capsule is moving at a constant speed, and if I bring my orbit up too high, I'll slow down and it'll pass me up and probably do a few orbits under me. So I want to get them relatively close. So there we go. Apoapse is at 64. So I set a maneuver node to circularize. And see, I do have an encounter coming up over there. And most importantly, I have a periapse, so I won't smash into the lunar surface. There's 12.8. And this is fine-tuning adjustment. You can see what I do to bring those nodes in closer. I see I'm going to pass below it as well, but first is to make sure that that I'm going to pass over it, or under it in this case, and I have the correct amount of delta V applied. There's 9.1. That won't do. A little closer. Those look to be right on top of one another, so now I adjust my inclination. There's 5.8, and I'm bringing that orbit up. There's 3.2. And then the descending node passes right over our two indicators. So that's the point where our orbits will meet up, and I will meet up with the capsule. Now it's getting in the way, at 7.5 kilometers. Fine tuning on that engine adjustment, and there we go, 0.2 kilometers and almost perfect on plane at that point. So now I know I have a good maneuver node set up. So in case I don't miss this, what I want to do is get myself orientated first, accelerate time, get my capsule slowed down. And time accelerating now. Just a very short burn to get around the moon, luckily. Not using much fuel because we don't have much on board to give. And 13 seconds worth of burning. And we're slowing down relative to our target, which is good. And throttling slowly back now. And then the camera changes, so we are above, or we're in an orbit and we won't crash down to the surface. Delete that node. I see that I'm 4 kilometers away, so on the prograde vector I turn on RCS and I'll do fine tuning with it. I go forward, see my distance climb, so I fire behind me, get that back down to the 0.2 that I was at before. And then so I don't miss this encounter, I just put up a maneuver. See, it doesn't, the blue indicator is bouncing all over the place, so I just give it retrograde so it stays in one spot and doesn't bounce all over the nav ball. But I do have a time, so I go back to targeting mode and go catching up to the command capsule. Around the dark side, coming around, we'll see the command capsule in the distance catching up here shortly, and looking for it. There it is. And the distance is shrinking. And we get a nice Kerbal sunrise. Passing over the moon now. There's the sun. And here shortly, I'll get back with you once we're closer to dock. And there's our flag. Bob is going to go ahead, select the lander as the target, and just orientate this and fly it in himself. So same practice with Gemini. Rotate the nose to where they're facing each other. And then it's just a slow, steady climb in. Docking now at a 0.5 meter a second. And let magnetism do the work. There we go. We are now one spacecraft. All three are down there, so we know they're connected. Do some time acceleration to stabilize the spacecraft. And now we are ready to transfer them over and plan our injection burn back home. First and foremost, transfer all the fuel that's left just in case we need it. There wasn't much in that lander at all. A negligible amount, but we might need RCS, so just transfer all the RCS fuel in the capsule the same way we transferred our liquid fuel. And now our command capsule is fully fueled, and we've got a bit more charge than that lander did. Make sure that engine was deactivated, and make sure that our command module engine was activated as well. And now, just like Apollo 8, we are ready to fire on the dark side of the moon towards Kerbin and get these guys home. Adding the maneuver there, going prograde. We see our orbit to Kerbin dropping. Alter our burn time to where we're firing at the orbital trajectory. There's 1,000,000 kilometers, 400,000 now. More delta V, bringing it down. There's 216. Up there's in the planet. And you've seen this before, so we will join the Kerbins as they touch down. There we go, touchdown of Apollo 11. Bill, Jebediah, and Bob are safely on the surface, and Jebediah will climb out and celebrate. So next time we will start building a space station. Take a jump, Jebediah. Woo! Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.